Greetings, humans. Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods. But true heroes are our veterans from the greatest generations. A few weeks back, Bear was reading a script he wrote about the Japanese internment and the group of men who went off to war fighting for a country that had interned them. This is their story, the most decorated unit in U.S. Army history. Thank you for watching, and Bear hopes that you enjoy. Exterior, Heart Mountain Relocation Center. Day. Heart Mountain has grown significantly. All around, people are going about their daily lives, as best they can under the circumstances. A springtime sun has brought out all of the colors of green, vegetables, fruits, ornamental flowers, and abundance of plenty produced from the high desert. Kenji walks down Avenue K. Mitz runs after him. Mitz, hey, haven't you heard? He catches up with Kenji. Aho want to demonstrate tonight. He gonna march to the front gate and get the old man released. Kenji, ACLU won't help. Why not? Mitz, Mr. Emery tell us say no on our loyalty papers. No. Fair Play Committee is right. We resist draft until our rights are back. Kenji, resisting the draft board is one thing. There needs to be more. Aho says Aho is nothing but trouble. Kenji spots Truth, taking pictures of Kame. Kenji, in Japanese, son of a bitch! Kenji sprints towards Truth, leaving Mitz behind. Truth, meanwhile, is enamored with his subject. He looks at an image of a beautiful woman with a picturesque background, tragically trapped behind barbed wire. Truth, I like, and one more! Kenji runs up and blocks the view. Truth, hey! Truth takes one look at Kenji and runs away. Kenji, yelling after Truth, where'd you get that camera? To Kame, oh, look at you, the sheriff of Barrack C. Can't we have some fun? Cut it out. Looks around. If they find him with, Kame walks off in a huff. Kenji follows after her. You know what would happen if the WRA catches anyone with a camera? Kame, the WRA can arrest us all, not while the spring crop is coming in. Who else would grow their beets? Okay, but you and him shouldn't. If I remember correctly, you and Yuki Amagoto at the fall festival, when the two of you headed off to... Okay, that's enough, not so loud. Kame, laughing to herself. The two make it back home. Another family has a victory garden in the front of their barracks. An older woman tends to her garden as Kenji and her sister walk past. Interior, Kenji's home moments later. Kame and Kenji enter. The room has changed significantly. A Spartan accommodation has been transformed into a cozy space, if a bit cramped from the 20 by 20 layout. Mother is nearby, ready for her hospital shift, while father heats a teapot on the coal stove. Mama, do you remember Yuki? Mother, the young girl you were friends with back home? Kenji cuts off his sister and announces himself. Father, I have news for you. Unresponsive, father continues to labor over his tea. We have decided to make a stand. Mr. Okamoto's arrest was the last straw. Resisting isn't an option anymore. We must demand all of our rights be returned before any of us are drafted from Heart Mountain. Mother, Kenji, please. You should be given your rights back, Mama. I do this for you. Don't get her involved in this. Not when you dishonor. I will say no. Kenji takes out 3 folded pieces of paper. He hands it to Kame, and she reads. Statement of the United States citizen. Go on to the bottom. 27 and 28. Are you willing to serve in the armed forces of the United States on combat duty, wherever ordered? Will you swear unqualified allegiance? Kenji, go ahead. Kame, and faithfully defend the United States from any or all attack by foreign or domestic forces, and forswear any form of allegiance, Kenji cuts her off, any allegiance or obedience to the Japanese emperor or foreign government, or they think I'm loyal to the emperor? I've never even been to Japan. Both questions are marked no. Don't you know what this means? It means we shouldn't be asked to fight for another man's freedom, not when ours has been taken away. Father drops the teapot on the stove. Enough! No boy of mine says no. You serve when asked. Do not dishonor this family again. Promise me that. Kenji, I'm doing what you did back home. We try. Mr. Emmett try. Just to resist. But we need more than talk to get our freedoms back. Father walks out. Mother gives Kenji an angry look and follows father. Kenji stands there disgraced. Whistle. The teapot boils over. Exterior, Heart Mountain Relocation Center, sundown. A small crowd of young Nisei chant slogans and march towards the front gates. Whistle, whistle, whistle. Several WRA guards have taken up defensive positions along the fence line and stand at the ready. Meanwhile, Kenji tries to convince a small group to join. Kenji on one side, Mr. Emmit and Mitz on the other. Kenji: so we can't wait around. Act now. Speak as one voice and join us. Mr. Emmit: join Aho and you'll be arrested. We are just now gaining momentum. Outsiders are starting to listen. If you go to that fence, you bring shame on your family, Akamoto-san, and the cause itself. The group murmurs amongst themselves. Kenji senses the group's reluctance and backs away. He joins the march instead and makes his way to the front with Aho. Aho chanting, "Hey, hey, let us free today. Hey, hey, let us free today." Kenji: there's been a slight holdup. The march presses forwards towards the front gates, egged on by Aho. The guards, nerves frayed, rifles at the ready. Bang! A warning shot is fired into the air, followed by an announcement over a loudspeaker. Back away from the front gates. Violators will be arrested. The temperature in the camp has risen considerably. All around, people are taking notice. Father spots Kenji and rushes over. He tries to pull his son away from the troublemakers. Father, this isn't the way forward. Kenji pushes back, so father addresses the crowd. The march stops for a moment and listens to their elder. It's easy to have bitterness in your heart for all that you have been through. Don't let that bitterness defeat you, though. Take strength from these struggles, a flawed system, the promise of this nation, and turn it into a hopeful future. Aho, sensing the lost momentum, riles up the marchers. We say no! We say no! We say no! Only father stands between the marchers and the front gate. A guard wipes sweat from his brow and clutches his rifle. Bang! Father clutches his chest and falls over. The crowd runs away as Kenji screams out. Interior, Heart Mountain Hospital, later. Father is rushed into the waiting room, leaking blood on the laminate floor. Mother and a team of nurses come through the operating room and lay the patient down on a gurney. It's only then that Mother sees who it is. And just like that, Father is rushed back into the OR. Exterior, Heart Mountain Relocation Center. Various. The hospital hums with activity. The boiler room's long red brick chimney reaches into the moonlight. As night falls and becomes day, the camp goes back to a normal state of affairs. Interior, Heart Mountain Hospital. Morning. Kenji and sister sit with each other on a wooden bench. They've been up all night and their faces show it. 3 men walk in, led by Warden Rayburn. Warden Rayburn: son, these men are from the U.S. Marshal's office. Come quietly, we'll make a fair offer. The U.S. Marshals, 40s, gruff, place Kenji in handcuffs. Warden Rayburn: the Army's come to town, looking for some recruits. Kenji: I've already told them no. Mother returns from the operating room. Sister runs over and sobs loudly. Mother leads in to console her. Warden Rayburn: ma'am, I apologize at a time like this. I need your son to come with us. He's a lot to answer for. But if he helps his country, I'll make sure that you and your family are looked after. Mother ponders this for a moment, looks Kenji in the eye. He wants you to bring honor. Do not throw away that promise to him now. Kenji is led away, still covered in father's dried blood. Interior, Warden Rayburn's office moments later. Inside, a group of men huddle around the warden's desk. Nervous cigarette smoke fills the air. Kenji enters the room and takes a quick census. Warden Rayburn, the U.S. Marshals, and 2 Army recruiters. Kenji's handcuffs are unlocked. He cautiously takes a seat. Warden Rayburn: the Marshals here plan to break up your subversive cell. Came for the old man first. Now all this happens. WRA can't let your riot make the papers. It's a sensitive topic, and the DA wants to make an example out of you. I've convinced him otherwise. Pushes Kenji some papers. Names, dates, and sworn statements. Everyone involved in this fair play committee. We plan a speedy trial, and with your help, a conviction. In return, the DA agrees to waive any charges against you for against me. That's right. Leavenworth's filled with dissenters. Now listen, this is a win-win for everybody, including your family. Don't mess it up. Kenji looking at the papers. What do you want? Unlike your friends out there, you're going to sign up. An example to everyone in the camp. One Army recruiter walks over and closes the blinds. The other sets up a film projector. The lights flicker off, and the projector starts.
couple sitting with such quiet dignity, this mother with her child, all are Americans of Japanese descent. So too is the rest of this audience, which here listens with solemn pride as the Army honors their sacred dead. Japanese American soldiers killed in action. Afterwards, a wife who has lost her husband is presented with the Silver Star. A father receives the Distinguished Service Cross. His son was killed in Italy, where he and thousands of other Japanese Americans, including the son of this woman, have produced one of the most remarkable combat records of the war. Important and decisive battles. And each time, these men of the 100th Infantry Battalion and the 442nd Combat Team have been right out in front. Here, after bitter fighting, they enter Livorno, one more ill-fated town that has been pounded into rubble, as the Fifth Army makes its slow, tortuous advance up the hot, dry valleys of Italy. Already within the buildings, the dead have begun to stink.